All right, mesdames et messieurs, welcome to the first episode of Closet Session in a bit. And today I have a very special guest, one of the craziest guitar player shredder I know, also a dear old friend of mine. Went to high school with his brother, and we reconnected years after, but I'm here with...
Mark Dolezal, or Dolezal as I'm known.
Dolezal.
Dolezal.
And we're going to be talking about some music stuff today, and meaningful question about life and such. Anyway, so thanks for doing this, Mark. And when and why did you start playing the guitar?
I think when was when I was 13, but I think the why. Honestly, I couldn't even tell you like why. I think I just kind of. I've always been a fan of music as a kid, and my brother, he had this Sears guitar that he bought one time, and I just kind of picked it up, and I think it kind of went from there. But I've been a fan of music way before I actually started playing guitar, like way before. And it all started with with punk music, and it was actually all because of Tom. Anything that Tom would listen to, I'd have to listen to, and yeah. So basically, it's because of Tom.
Well, if and I hope your brother's watching this. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
Here's another good question for you. Why doesn't McDonald's sell hot dogs?
Because I used to work at McDonald's, and we did sell hot dogs. It was the Johnsonville Brat. But we used to, I worked on the one on the highway, so we used to sell all the stuff that the States sold. So we had like the Johnsonville Brat, we had the orange friggin' slushy or whatever the hell. And the reason why is because it's fucking terrible. It was the worst thing on earth. So that's definitely why.
Of all the people that answered that question ever, I get the serious answer from this guy. That is awesome. So they actually did sell hot dogs.
Yeah, we had the Johnsonville Brat, and like it was god awful, man.
So when you go to the movie theater, which armrest is yours?
I don't go to the theaters that often, honestly, but I would say both. And I choose both.
You greedy bastard, you.
Well, I need to be comfortable, man. I find being in a theater is very uncomfortable as it is, because I don't like being around a lot of people watching a movie. I'd rather just be chilling with my buddies, having a beer, watching the movie. It's uncomfortable, so I'm going to get as much comfort as I possibly can. So it's both. So if you're sitting next to me in a theater, sorry.
You've been in a number of bands. Let's say your last two bands. How did you come up with your band's name, and what are they?
Yeah, we've had well, the band I'm in now, Decimate, I didn't come up with that name. And the other band I'm in at the current moment, we don't even have a name. But before that, I was in Beyond Death, and we kind of cycled through about 1 million names until we got to that. But that name came from lyrics, right? And it was actually funny because we used to be called Nocturnal, but we found out there was a band called Nocturnal, so we had to change the name. So everyone in the band except me decided to change the band name to Ophidian Eclipse, which I absolutely hated, because Ophidian means snake and eclipse means the moon. And it has nothing to do with each other. And I absolutely hated it, but I got voted out, so we were called Ophidian Eclipse for maybe a week, but that week we played a show at St. Mary's. It was a battle of the bands, and we won, and there's a trophy with the band name Ophidian Eclipse. And then like maybe a couple days later, we decided to change the name because everyone realized how dumb it was. And we changed it to Beyond Death, but we changed it to that because there's a lyric in the song Leper Affinity by Opeth that says, I am beyond death. And there's also a lyric in Temptation by Slayer that says far beyond death. So we kind of just took inspiration from the bands we liked, and we thought Beyond Death was kind of a cool thing. Plus, we were a big fan of the band Death, So we kind of wanted that inner name, and
A lot of death there.
yeah. Well, we were young, you know what I mean. Kind of a cheesy name, but yeah, it was pretty good.
There you go. You heard it from the horse's mouth. Hey, tell us, do they have the word dictionary in the dictionary?
You know, I've never read the dictionary.
Really?
No, I've never seen a reason for it. I've never
I thought
actually.
you read it like every week. I thought that was one of your things.
No,
How about the Bible you read every week?
yeah,
That's
the
it.
Bible. Well, I've read the Bible a few times.
You have?
Yeah.
What do you mean, like a few times?
Oh well, Catholic school, man. You know it.
The New Testament kind of thing, or like?
The old, the new.
Wow.
In between.
I've never fully read the Bible, my friend.
I've read a couple chapters, or sorry, verses, or what are they called? Passages.
You're asking the wrong guy.
Yeah.
Wow. How about this? Do vegetarian eat animal crackers?
It depends. Is it gluten? No, gluten doesn't have anything to do with animal. Well, it depends. If there's animal byproducts in it, then obviously no. But like I don't know the foundation of an animal cracker, but if there's animals in it, they probably wouldn't want to eat it.
So your answer is no.
My answer is yeah, no.
How about this? What was the very first song you learned on a guitar?
That'd be Fade to Black.
Metallica.
Yeah, Metallica. Yeah, that's actually kind of the reason I wanted to play guitar, because I heard that intro solo, and that was kind of, yeah. After I heard that, I thought that was the greatest solo, and now that I listen to it, it's just like it's so pedestrian, but it's amazing how many people have told me that the same thing. That's the first solo they've ever actually tried to learn, because they get actually play it and it sounds good, right? Metallica was a huge inspiration to me as a kid. I love that band still, even though they're pretty bad now.
How about this? Is there a time limit on a fortune cookie prediction?
A time limit?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 100% sure what you mean by that.
So when you crack open that fortune cookie and you read the message, is there a time limit?
For it to happen to you? Okay. Well, every fortune cookie that I've read was absolutely asinine, so I think it could take the rest of my life and it wouldn't fucking matter. But like, because it's not even a fortune, some of them. But I mean, if it's a legitimate fortune, I would give it a day.
A day? Okay.
Yeah, I think I'd give it a day. Or I guess it depends on the freaking fortune, man. If it says that in the future you're gonna meet someone, it's, you know what I mean? It's sometime in the future, you know what I mean? But if it means today you're gonna break your fucking leg, well, it's gonna be in a day.
There you go. Is your family musical?
Yeah. Yeah, my dad used to play the violin. Mom used to play the piano. But she unfortunately had 2 of her tendons and her fingers removed, so she can't play the piano anymore. But we actually have a piano at our house, and she still plays from time to time. But yeah, obviously not as well as she used to. But and obviously Tom, he was in a band with your brother and stuff, right? Like back in the day and that kind of stuff. Everyone's always had their musical background and that kind of stuff. And my parents still, from day to day, listen to music all the time. We have a ton of vinyls at home, and
That's cool.
like really really old school vinyls. And actually, what's funny is like my mom, my dad, they're actually starting to embrace some of the more modern the music that I kind of like. My dad is a huge Guns N' Roses fan, which is
Really?
hilarious. Yeah, one of my mom's favorite bands is Soundgarden. Like her favorite song of all time is Black Hole Sun. Like she loves Black Hole Sun every time it happens. And I remember like when I was a kid, I used to play my tapes in the car with her, and we'd have a game where she would have to guess what band I'm playing. And eventually it would come to a point when she would be like, okay, that's SDP, that's Nirvana, that's Soundgarden, that's Chains. And she would get it.
Let's take a break and talk about your mom, because I have a very vivid memory of... So, my little friend here, Mark, and his brother, and obviously his parents, are Czechoslovakian. And I remember as a kid growing up, this really big Czech guy with these 500cc dirt bikes in the garage. And then this really sweet old lady, which would be Mark's mother, driving me and her son, his brother, around. But we would play the craziest song, like in the car, like whether it was like Slayer or Pearl Jam or STP or you name it. Never once has she ever said a word. She would just drive us around and play these songs for us. Well, not play these songs for us, but she just let us play whatever we want.
Yeah,
so
she never told you to turn it down. Yeah.
No. That was quite something. So this one time, your brother made her drive us to Subble Beach to go camp for a weekend. And that's a pretty long car ride. And your brother made this like mixed cassette tape for the car ride up. To this day, I don't know how your mom's a saint, man. Like, she just never said a word, drove us there, dropped us off, and then drove back to Cambridge. Yeah, so if your mom's watching this, thank you.
Well,
Thank you for putting up with us crazy kids.
Well, that's probably why, like, she put up with the music that I would play her, because it was generally the same kind of thing, right? And, yeah.
God bless her heart. If vampires can't see the reflection in the mirror, how do they always have perfect, neat hair?
Familiars.
Okay.
Yep. They have human familiars that groom them.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That's the best answer, too.
Yep.
Man, you're on fire. You are on fire. How about this? Since bread is square, then why is sandwich meat oval or circular?
I think it's the juxtaposition of the two shapes, you know what I mean? Because if you had a square and a square, there'd be nothing popping out on the side. But if you have a circle and you got a square, you got some shit on the side, right? So, you know, when you bite into a sandwich and the first thing you bite is that little edge of a piece of meat.
I don't do that.
Well, you got to bite it from somewhere, right? There's friggin' meat hanging off all of the side of the friggin' sandwich, man. You need it to hang. But if it was square,